So according to Quad, it looks like we have some tea from the Married to Medicine reunion, and it includes Dr. Heavenly almost getting her butt whooped by whom? We have to talk about that. We have to talk about their reunion looks, and we also have to talk about who exactly called Heavenly the B word. Welcome back to the Kempire Daily YouTube channel, your number one source for pop culture news, music, entertainment, reality TV, and so much more. As always, be sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell so you never miss out on breaking news when we go live or when we upload. So, normally we love to talk about the fashion for the Real Housewives, and normally we would go live and talk about it, but look, it's Friday. Give me a break. But my initial reaction to the Married to Medicine reunion looks was, but here's the thing, and we said this before, seeing the outfits in motion, seeing the outfits in proper lighting, seeing it by a good photographer is important. And according to Dr. Heavenly on her YouTube channel, she went live yesterday with Funky Dineva and Quad, and she said that they didn't like the photographer that were taking the pictures for the reunion. Clearly, because when we got to see higher quality photos of these reunion looks, I had a different opinion. My initial opinion was my eyes. But then when I saw better lighting, better images, I was like, okay, I can see this. I can have a better opinion. That doesn't mean that everyone got it right, though. So let's quickly talk about the reunion looks, and then we'll talk a little bit more about the reunion. So, as you know, we love to go through and celebrate the people behind the scenes, the stylists, the makeup artists, the hairstylists, all of that. So first of all, the inspiration, because I know a lot of you are wondering, what was the inspiration for this reunion? So they actually had a theme, okay? Their theme was in celebration of their Vegas trip, but it was 70s Las Vegas looks, okay? So we'll start with Dr. Jackie. Dr. Jackie, first of all, 60-something-year-old woman, smart, brilliant, successful. I know what you're thinking. Uh-oh. No, I didn't love her outfit. She definitely stood apart from everyone else with this red. According to Dr. Heavenly, she actually had another dress in mind, and she's happy that Dr. Jackie went with this particular look. To me, she looks regal. She looks good. Hair, makeup, everything looks good. Dress was by Zuhair Murad. Jewelry was by David Yurman. Shoes were by Tom Ford. Hairstyling was by Jessica King. Makeup was by Armando Cole. Styling was by Sinead Way, Cedric Wade, and Craig Jennifer. Damn, you had that many people styling you? Damn, okay. It's a lot of people. If I had to rate this look, it's Dr. Jackie. I'm going to give her a solid 8.5. Just saying. Speaking of solid, let's talk about Dr. Simone. Dr. Simone had a soft season, but she's been through a lot. I'm rewatching and watching some old seasons. She's carried this show for many years. This season, she was sort of like, she's working on the book. We don't care. Blah, blah, blah. Looking at this photo in higher quality, hair and makeup look great. The outfit, it's good. To me, it's good. I don't think there's... the initial photo, I was like, oh, God, what is she wearing? But seeing it in higher quality, the dress was by Naheem Khan. Earrings were by Gucci. Shoes were by Aquazora. Hairstyling was by Stephanie Harris. Makeup was by Christopher Michael. Fashion consulting, interesting. Consulting was by Marville Williams. If I had to rate this look, I think this was solid too. I'd probably give this an 8.5 as well. I know what you're thinking. Kempire, you just gave Dr. Jack, because I don't want to compare them because I feel like they're so different, but they both look really, really good. They both look really, really good. Let's talk about Dr. Heavenly. Dr. Heavenly, if you have her tell it, was the best dress. Initially, when I first saw Dr. Heavenly's look in the lower quality photo, I was just like, ooh. But she's never been known to be a fashionista. But her hair and makeup look great. The dress, it's not my favorite. I don't feel like it's necessarily 70s Las Vegas, but I can see it with the hanging of the I don't want to call it a shawl, but the hanging of the fabric. I can see the 70s. I think they could have went a little bit more with the 70s hair, big, and I'm like, if I had to rate this look, okay, we'll get to the rating in a second. This is a designer that we've seen a lot here. The dress is by Brides of Nona. Jewelry was by Tailored. Shoes were by Stuart Weitzman. Hairstyling was by Theo Barrett. Makeup was by Letitia Chansey. And styling was by Leah Taylor. If I had to rate this look, I'm not going to give her the same rating as the other two. I'm going to give this an 8. I'm going to give this an 8 just because I'm not sold on it. I think if at the bottom of the dress, it was a little bit looser or a little bit more open, I don't need her to do a split. I mean, that would have been hot. I mean, she looks great. She looks great. Body's on fleek, but I don't know. I don't love it. But if you look at the details of the dress are beautiful. It's not an ugly dress. And like I said, hair and makeup go a long way. It's just not my favorite look on her. I feel like she's looked better in the last couple of reunions. But we'll move on. Oh, God. Very much like her season, Dr. Contessa. I don't know what she decided. Like, she doesn't look bad. Like, we've seen worse. Come on now. We've seen and talked about worse. But I think it's the hair. Her makeup looks great. She's a beautiful woman. Body is great. I mean, the low drop in the front, sexy. I don't know. I just don't love this. I didn't love the little missing piece of hair for the long ponytail. It's not terrible, but it's not great either. I don't know. The dress, though, is by a Black designer, Sergio Hudson. Earrings were by Chanel. Shoes were by Aquazzura. Hairstyling was by Janelle Smith. Makeup was by Daria Latham. And ring styling was by Marty. If I had to rate this look, I'm going to give her a 7. I was going to say 7.5, but I'm going to go 7. I don't love it. Here's another person that I've changed my mind on. My Taurus sister, but you know I've been very critical of Quad this season. Quad was she also dropped by Dr. Heavenly's recap of the fashion. And, you know, she shared her thoughts on people that are criticizing her for not having a storyline. She's like, no, this is my life. Okay, Quad, but not having a storyline means that the storyline you're giving us is not giving. Just saying, even though we love Mason. But for me, the best dress at this reunion has to be Quad. Because when you think about the theme, you look at the dress, you look at the fit, her body looks great, hair, makeup, everything looks really good. Really, really good. And that's why I need a moment. I'm glad I waited till today to talk about these reunion looks. Her dress was by Youssef Al-Jasmi. The jewelry was by Isabel Marant. Shoes also by Aquazzura. Hairstyling was by Jessica King. Makeup was by Alexander Palacio. Styling was by Jeremy Haynes. I think she looks the best. Hair, makeup, everything. Body. I would rate this. I damn want to give her a 10. And when you think about 70s Vegas inspired, I want to give her a 10. I'm going to give her a 10. That's my initial reaction. I'm going to give Quad a 10. Okay, Quad, you did that, girl. Toya is a beautiful woman. We've said this before. I think she's important for Married to Medicine. However, when I saw her look, I was just like, what? And that's the thing. For her always criticizing people's fashion, specifically Audra, and for those of you asking where's Audra, Audra's very pregnant. Audra's about to pop next week. So she could not fly to New York to do this reunion. All right? But Toya, first of all, we'll say the dress is by Gucci. Just because it's Gucci doesn't mean that it's made for everyone or that it's going to be the most fashionable. Gucci gets it wrong every once in a while, too. I can kind of see what she was trying to go here because if you've ever been to Vegas, there's the Luxor, which is Egyptian inspired. So I have a feeling that's what she was going for. But the fit, especially of the bodice, is that the right terminology, fashionistas? The top part, it just seemed off. It seemed off. The bottom, I don't mind the bottom. I like the colors. I think hair and makeup on her, she always gives face. I just did not love this look. The dress is by Gucci. Bracelets and ring were by Cartier. Okay. Shoes were by Tom Ford. It's all the name brands for her. Hairstyling was by Q Hardy. Makeup was by George Miguel Arnon. And styling was by Craig Jennifer. I just, for all these women to have stylists, I expected more. I expected more. For me, she might have been the worst dress. Yeah, for me, Toya might have been the worst dress. All right. And then we get to Anila, who probably had no storyline. If you saw it last night, there was a video footage for a preview for this week's episode of Married to Medicine, and Miss Gomez does come back. Okay, again, Anila, it's screaming storyline because according to Miss Gomez, the reason why she left was so she could be closer to her grandchildren. So all of a sudden, with the right price, the right situation, she's moving back to Georgia. It's screaming storyline. Get Miss Gomez, I'm looking at you with the side eye. Get that boy his pinto beans. Anyways, so here's the thing. For her being a fashionista, for her being a fashion blogger, she has yet to impress me with her fashion. From the hair, makeup, the clothes. I'm never really fully impressed with Anila. This look, though, when you think about the inspiration of 70s Las Vegas, I thought this was a solid look, especially with like the bottom part of her train and everything like that. You're definitely getting Vegas from her here. But I'm a little bored from the neck up. Usually she gets a lot of hair and a lot of different things, but she's giving us very demure, which I don't mind because it kind of reminds me of Cher. Cher, she's giving me Cher from the 70s. Let's see who did her things. So another dress from Brides of Nona. Jewelry was by April Alirbi. Shoes were by Lucilla. Hairstyling was by Dallas Christopher. Makeup was by Caroline Blankard. And styling was by Ryan Christopher. I think she looks great. It's not my favorite look of all the ladies, but like I said, Toya for me was the worst dress, even though she had probably the bigger brand or the bigger brands on. Like I've said before, it's not about the name or how much you've spent. It's about an eye. It's about an eye. But the best dress for me goes to Quad. Goes to Quad. But I know what you're here for. So speaking of Quad dropped by Dr. Heavenly's YouTube channel with Funky Dineva to talk about, I guess, just the reunion fashions, but it led into a conversation about how Dr. Heavenly almost got her butt whooped at the reunion. And you're probably wondering who? Of course, Dr. Contessa, because Quad said it wasn't me.
How everything looked, okay? You damn sure had security. Huh? You had security. Well, production brought security, so we always gonna have security. You know what I mean? As we should, because you almost got your ass whooped at the reunion, from what I hear. I'm just saying, I didn't see it.
We can't talk about the reunion, bitch.
Well, listen.
Okay, bitch, don't
y'all
do
talking
that.
about look.
It wasn't you finna whip it. It wasn't you.
But I'm too classy to fight.
It wasn't you, and I'm too classy too. I got a whole doctor's degree, and I am board certified, bitch. I'm not finna.
Well, act like it.
Dr. Heaven said, we can't talk about the reunion, but she didn't deny it. We already know Dr. Contessa probably had all the fever and fire for Dr. Heavenly, but Dr. Heavenly can take it. I'm not worried about Dr. Heavenly. I already know a lot of you feel the way that I do when it comes to Dr. Contessa. She wanted to move away completely from the storyline that she gave us last season with her problematic husband to this new issue, and it's with Dr. Heavenly. But Dr. Heavenly says she's done with her. There's no way that they can move on from you trying to use me for a storyline and not tell me. And I've been doing my YouTube channel for so long, and now all of a sudden, after you had just been on it, have a problem with the things that I said about your relationship that you've put out there on the show. You've probably said worse about your relationship on the show than Dr. Heavenly said on her YouTube channel. But that's not the only thing. One of the things that I noticed when Dr. Heavenly went on her Instagram Live, she had mentioned one of the husbands had called her the B word. And I had my suspicions. I didn't necessarily immediately think it was Dr. Scott because I felt like he was navigating those issues with them, trying to make peace between Dr. Contessa and Dr. Heavenly. But apparently, it may have been Dr. Eugene because she dropped a hint during her conversation with Funky Dineva.
Who that? Oh, Quad, she know that. Come on now. If anything is vice versa, but I don't even think it's that. I think that everybody on the show is an alpha female and everybody can handle their own. And that's where I get in the issue. And men, you're going to have it out, Funky, when we talk about the men and what the men are allowed to do on the show and what they're not allowed to do. because you got to come back, because at the reunion I want to talk to you about these men.
Okay.
Right? Because I'm gonna say it. If you ain't got words for Karen, you see what I'm saying?
If you ain't got words for Kieran, Dr. Kieran, as you remember, Dr. Eugene and Kieran had an issue earlier on in the season because Dr. Kieran and Anila showed up to the Halloween party dressed in moving gear and with a U-Haul. And we get it. You didn't find that funny. Your moving issues you don't find funny, but that's all you've given us in season 1. Let's be honest. But you didn't have that same energy for Dr. Kieran, right? I agree with Dr. Heavenly, but we have to wait and see how it plays out. We don't even know if the editors are going to keep in this moment that Dr. Heavenly is bringing up. She's brought it up a couple of times. So at this point, editors, if you're watching, you better keep it in. And I'm not surprised because, you know, at the top of the season, I said, #save Dr. Eugene. But I've moved on, especially rewatching and watching old episodes. I'm like, no, Dr. Eugene, this is what you've wanted for your life. This is what you've created. You're just as bad as Toya when it comes to making bad decisions. Why are you coming for the wives? I mean, he's had a few moments over the years. Guys, I want to know your reaction to the reunion looks and how you would rate them. And I want to know, are you excited for the Married to Medicine reunion? And what are you expecting? And what do you think, or who do you think was the one to call Dr. Heavenly the B word? Let's have those conversations below. And as always, be sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell so you never miss out on breaking news when we go live or when we upload. Thanks for watching.